When they were here last time, him and Chrisean was pregnant. Y'all were doing all that smoking and drinking here in the thing.
Brace yourself, because what you're about to hear isn't just another messy internet squabble. It's a digital earthquake, and the aftershocks are already rippling through every timeline. Comment section and group chat in the country. Tonight, a bombshell media insider Jackson Lee just exposed what he claims is a hidden medical crisis involving rising star Crystal Rios' newborn son named Junior. But before you gasp, before you pick a side, and before you type a single word in the comments, understand this: what Jackson leaked isn't a gentle nudge, it's a sledgehammer. Screenshots, voice notes, a midnight monologue that has fans screaming, "This can't be real," and critics hissing, "We knew it was coming." It's Crystal Rios, unfiltered, unpredictable, and undeniably magnetic, has lived her life at full volume. Every triumph, every tear, every fight has been center stage. But this is different. This is intimate. This is personal. And if Jackson Lee is telling even a slice of the truth, then the story you thought you knew about Crystal, motherhood, and the tight circle around her is about to shatter on camera, in public, and in real time. Here's the twist that set the internet ablaze. Jackson insists he didn't go looking for this. He says it found him. A stranger's DM, a blurred photo, a single voicemail that made him stop, rewind, and whisper, "No way." And then, the avalanche: anonymous accounts, deleted posts, panicked voice notes, every breadcrumb pointing to a secret Crystal allegedly tried to lock behind thick walls. That little Junior might be facing a condition far more serious than fans could ever imagine. But is Jackson a truth teller or an opportunist with perfect timing? Is this a public service or a publicity stunt? Because the timing is too neat, too sharp, too suspicious. Crystal is gearing up for her biggest release yet. Her enemies are circling like hawks. And suddenly, the internet smells blood. And they want answers. Right now, fandoms are tearing themselves apart. One side cries, "Protect that family." The other side demands, "We deserve the truth." Meanwhile, Jackson just dropped 3 words that detonated across social media like a grenade. "I have receipts." Do we believe him? Do we believe her? Or are we all being played by a narrative so slick, so emotionally engineered, that even the skeptics can't look away? Stay with me, because in the next segment, we pull the curtain all the way back. Who sent Jackson the first message? What was in the files he claims he didn't want to open? And why does one timestamp 2:47 a.m. keep showing up in places it absolutely shouldn't? This isn't gossip. This is a countdown. The storm we're living through didn't just appear overnight. No, this was years in the making. To really understand how we got here, we have to go back to when Crystal Rios wasn't just a household name. When she wasn't yet the chaotic lightning bolt we see trending daily. Back then, she was a hungry newcomer, wild and unfiltered, carving her way through an industry that eats people alive. And at that time, she had one unlikely ally, Jackson Lee. Jackson was already notorious, sharp-tongued, unafraid. A media insider who made a career out of saying what everyone else was too scared to whisper. His platform thrived on exposing secrets. Some called him messy, others called him dangerous, but everyone listened. When Crystal first stormed onto the scene, Jackson was one of the first to champion her. He saw in her a spark, something raw, something untamable. He gave her interviews. He amplified her battles. He defended her when critics dismissed her as too volatile to last. Together, their names became entangled in the same headlines, the King of Receipts and the Queen of Chaos. But even then, there were warning signs. At first, Jackson and Crystal's relationship looked like mutual respect. He got clicks off her antics. She got publicity from his coverage. But behind the scenes, cracks were already forming. Jackson is meticulous, strategic, even ruthless when it comes to image. Crystal, she thrives on impulse. Where he sees chess moves, she sees firecrackers. And then came Junior. When Crystal announced her pregnancy, the internet stopped. Fans were divided. Some cheered her growth. Others whispered she wasn't ready. Jackson, publicly, he congratulated her. But privately, insiders claim he told his team, "This changes everything. Watch closely because this story isn't ending the way people think." That was the first chilling sign that Jackson didn't just see Crystal as a star, he saw her as a ticking time bomb. As months passed, their alliance began to crumble. Crystal resented Jackson's commentary, calling him out for using her name for clout. Jackson, in return, hinted that he knew more than the public did. He teased hidden truths in cryptic tweets. Fans noticed the shift. Comment sections became battlegrounds. Jackson built her up. Now he's tearing her down. Crystal doesn't owe him anything. He's a snake. You don't bite the hand that puts you on the map. And then came the whispers. Insiders began to leak rumors that something wasn't right behind Crystal's perfect Instagram posts, stories of late-night breakdowns, canceled studio sessions, phone calls that ended in slammed doors. People whispered that Crystal was overwhelmed, that motherhood wasn't as picture-perfect as she made it seem. Jackson, ever the opportunist, seemed to know more than anyone else. He began dropping subtle hints, never naming names, but always circling the same theme. Not every fairy tale has a happy ending. And fans ate it up. Then came the confrontation at a red carpet after-party. With cameras flashing and music blasting, Crystal allegedly confronted Jackson directly. Witnesses claim her voice shook with fury as she hissed, "You keep my family out of your mouth." Jackson, calm and smirking, supposedly leaned in and said, "Then keep your secrets locked tighter." Because whispers travel. That night, they became enemies. The fragile alliance was over, but here's where things get darker. Behind closed doors, Whisper Network began to grow. DMS, anonymous accounts, blurred screenshots. People claimed they had seen things, heard things, knew things about Junior. Nothing concrete, just fragments. But enough for Jackson to connect the dots. Enough for him to realize he had the makings of a bombshell that could shake Crystal's world to its core. At first, he held back. Insiders say he hesitated, unsure whether to drop the hammer. But then Crystal publicly mocked him, calling him irrelevant during a live stream. And that was it. That was the push. The fuse was lit. From that moment forward, Jackson wasn't just waiting for information, he was hunting for it. He dug deeper. He spoke to people who claimed to be close to Crystal. He sifted through deleted posts, suspicious timestamps, and private group chats. And then, one night at exactly 2:47 a.m., his phone buzzed. A message. Anonymous. Just 2 words. "Check this." Attached was a file. Jackson would later claim that this was the moment everything changed. That this was the first domino in a chain reaction that would lead to the explosion we're seeing today. He didn't share what was in that file immediately, but whatever it was, it convinced him that Crystal's carefully curated narrative was hiding something darker. Something her fans didn't know. Something her enemies couldn't wait to weaponize. And so Jackson began plotting the reveal, teasing, hinting, building suspense. Until the night he finally went public, and the internet hasn't been the same since. That's the foundation of this chaos. Years of messy friendship, a shattered alliance, a fragile image hiding cracks. The first leak at 2:47 a.m. That cursed timestamp that kept reappearing in whispers. Jackson uploaded a blurry screenshot. It looked like a message thread. Names were blacked out, but the tone, the slang, even the emojis fans insisted they belonged to Crystal. The messages hinted at hospital visits, at frantic late-night calls, at something wrong behind the polished Instagram smiles. One line stood out like a flashing red siren. "He can't know yet. If people find out, everything changes." The caption Jackson added was simple, devastating. "Secrets don't stay buried. Not forever." The reactions came in waves. "Oh my God, she's been hiding this." Jackson's lying. This is fake. Why would she keep something so serious a secret? The screenshot alone would have been enough to keep social media busy for days. But Jackson wasn't finished. Not even close. The emotional meltdown 2 hours later, Crystal herself went live. No makeup, no lighting, just her phone camera shaking in her hand, her voice trembling with rage and heartbreak. "You really think you know my life?" She spat, eyes red with tears. "You think some washed-up blogger can tell my story? No, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what my son has been through. And if you think I'm going to let you exploit him," her voice cracked. She stopped. For a moment, silence hung heavy. Then she whispered, "God help you." Fans flooded the chat. Some begged her to explain. Others demanded proof Jackson was lying. But Crystal ended the stream abruptly, leaving everyone more confused than before. And that's when the war truly began. The internet. Splits in Twitter became a battlefield. One side screamed in all caps, "Crystal is protecting her child. Respect her privacy." The other side fired back. "She lied to everyone. Jackson's receipts don't lie." TikTok exploded with side-by-side comparisons of Crystal's posts and the leaked messages. YouTube commentators uploaded hour-long breakdowns titled "Crystal's Biggest Secret." Exposed by Jackson Lee, the message that changed everything is Junior okay? Fans deserve answers. The frenzy was unstoppable. But then, just when everyone thought they knew what the scandal was about, Jackson revealed the first twist. The twist nobody saw coming. Everyone assumed this was about personal betrayal, about Crystal lying to her fans, about a young mother struggling privately while pretending publicly that everything was fine. But Jackson leaned into his camera and whispered words that detonated across the internet like dynamite. "You think this is about a baby? You think this is about sympathy? No, this is about power. This is about money. And the one person Crystal trusted the most has been selling her out from the inside." The comments went wild. What does he mean? Who's selling her out? Is he saying her own team betrayed her? And then came the screenshot. This time, it wasn't Crystal. It was an alleged email from someone in her inner circle, her manager. The message suggested deals were being made behind her back. Private details leaked for payouts. Personal struggles packaged into gossip for cash. The betrayal wasn't just emotional. It was financial sabotage. Fans lost their minds. For weeks, they had been tearing Crystal apart. Now, suddenly, the narrative shifted. Was she a liar, or was she a victim of the people closest to her? The fallout between Crystal and Jackson Crystal went silent. For days, nothing. No tweets, no lives. No cryptic Instagram stories. Her silence only made the story bigger. Meanwhile, Jackson doubled down. He tweeted every hour, posting cryptic lines like, "When loyalty dies, everything burns. Don't shoot the messenger. Blame the betrayer. The receipts keep coming." The internet couldn't breathe. Every notification felt like the next bombshell. The reaction celebrities joined in. One pop star tweeted, "This is messy, but exploitation is real. I hope she's okay." A rival rapper laughed on Instagram Live. "Told y'all she wasn't built for this life." Even influencers outside the music scene weighed in, using the hashtags for clout. Crystal's fan base split completely. Some defended her fiercely, creating threads exposing Jackson's past lies. Others demanded Crystal speak up, saying silence is guilt. And through it all, one phrase haunted every thread, every video, every whispered conversation to 47 a.m. Why did that timestamp keep coming up? Why did every leak, every screenshot, every message seem to trace back to that exact time? Nobody knew, but everyone was desperate to find out. The cliffhanger finally, after 5 days of nonstop chaos, Jackson went live again. Millions tuned in, shaking, sweating, praying for answers. He leaned in close, smirked, and said, "You've seen the texts. You've seen the emails. You've seen the lies, but you haven't seen the video. The one that proves everything. The one that will end her career. Fig. The screen cut to black. Fans screamed. Comment sections exploded. Memes flooded TikTok within minutes. Nobody knew what was on that video. But everyone knew one thing. The war between Jackson Lee and Crystal Rios wasn't over. It was only just beginning. For days, the world waited. Jackson Lee had promised a video, the video that would end Crystal Rios' career, expose her secrets, and destroy the image she worked so hard to protect. And then, at exactly 7:15 p.m. on a Sunday evening, it happened. A link appeared on Jackson's Twitter feed. Just for words in the caption, "Watch before it's gone." The video was grainy, shaky, filmed in secret, but the audio, clear to clear. You could hear Crystal's voice. You could hear her panicked tone. You could hear her whispering to someone off camera. "If people find out, if they ever see the reports, everything I built is over. My baby won't survive the pressure. They'll tear me apart." The internet froze. Was this real? Was it fake? Was this Crystal admitting she had hidden Junior's condition all along? Within minutes, the video spread across every platform. YouTube mirrors popped up. TikTok edits turned it into dramatic reels. Instagram story after Instagram story reposted it with captions like, "This can't be real. Protect Junior at all costs. She lied to everyone." But the most chilling part wasn't her words. It was the timestamp burned into the corner of the footage, 2:47 a.m. The cursed hour again. Social media meltdown, the hashtag #CrystalVideoLeak trended. Worldwide within 10 minutes, fans argued in real time. This is proof she's been lying for months. Scared for her baby. That's not lying, that's survival. Who filmed this? Who leaked this? TikTok detectives went into overdrive. They slowed down the video, enhanced the audio, studied the background for clues. One viral post pointed to a blurred figure in the corner of the video. Another claimed they recognized the wallpaper from Crystal's own bedroom Instagram post months earlier. Theories spiraled. Was this recorded secretly by her own team? Was it Jackson himself? Was someone closer to her than anyone realized, setting her up? The betrayal felt bigger than ever. Celebrity reactions go nuclear. The scandal jumped into Hollywood at lightning speed. A Grammy-winning singer tweeted, "I don't care what anyone says, no mother deserves this. Leaking private pain is disgusting." But then a famous reality TV villain went live. "Honey, if you don't want receipts dropped, don't lie to your fans, period." Even rappers jumped in with subliminal bars on Instagram stories, hinting at Crystal's downfall. One wrote, 2:47 a.m. Everybody got skeletons in the closet. Suddenly, this wasn't just a fan scandal. It was mainstream entertainment. Everyone wanted a piece of the drama. The sponsorship collapsed behind the scenes. The fallout was brutal. Anonymous insiders leaked that 2 major sponsors had already pulled out of Crystal's upcoming tour. A brand deal rumored to be worth millions was suddenly on hold. One leaked email, allegedly from a sponsor, read, "We cannot align with Ms. Rios until this situation is resolved. The reputational risk is too high." The internet devoured it. Fans begged Crystal to speak out. Critics mocked her silence. And Jackson, he smirked in his live stream, sipping champagne while reading the leaked sponsor email aloud to tens of thousands of viewers. "This," he said coldly, "is what happens when you build a brand on lies." The backstab from within. When things couldn't get worse for Crystalina, the twist hit. An anonymous Twitter account dropped alleged voice notes recordings of Crystal's own team members gossiping about her. In one, a voice claimed to be her assistant could be heard saying, "She knew this would come out eventually. We told her to be honest." But she only cared about her image, not even about Junior. The betrayal wasn't just external, it was internal. Crystal wasn't just fighting Jackson, she was fighting her own people. Fans were horrified. Her team is selling her out. No wonder she's breaking down. Who can she even trust? Crystal breaks her silence finally. After days of silence, pressure, and chaos, Crystal reappeared. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't polished. It wasn't staged. It was her, in a dimly lit room, eyes swollen from crying, voice raw. She whispered, "I never wanted this. I never wanted my baby's pain turned into a circus. I kept quiet because I thought silence would protect him. Now I realize silence is destroying me." She didn't deny the video. She didn't deny the leaks, but she didn't admit them either. Instead, she looked straight into the camera and dropped one line that made the internet lose its mind. "If you want the truth, you need to start asking who was recording me at 2:47 a.m. The screen went black. Theories explode. Her words set the internet ablaze. Who recorded her? Who leaked it? Why always 2:47 a.m.? Some fans believed it was her manager. Others suspected an ex. A wild theory even claimed Jackson had hacked into her home. Cameras, Reddit threads exploded with investigations. Discord. Servers popped up overnight dedicated to solving the 247. Mystery. The betrayal wasn't just about Junior anymore. It was about conspiracy, surveillance, and someone close enough to Crystal to capture her darkest moments. The ultimate escalation. The scandal reached nuclear levels when Jackson went live one last time during this phase. He stared into the camera, his tone icy calm. "You've seen the texts. You've seen the emails. You've seen the video. But let me be clear." He leaned forward, eyes sharp as knives. "The real monster isn't Crystal, and it isn't me. It's the person who sold her out. And when their name drops..." He paused, smirked, whispered, "The world burns." The live ended, the internet collapsed. The video didn't just break the internet, it broke the world in half. Millions of fans who once cheered for Crystal Rios now found themselves screaming at each other online, tearing apart friendships, families, and entire communities. Some insisted that she was a victim, a mother trying to protect her child in the cruelest industry on earth. Others swore she was a liar, a manipulator, someone who built her fame on deception and was finally being exposed for what she truly was. Twitter timelines looked like battlefields. Every scroll revealed another war. One fan tweeted in all caps, "Crystal deserves respect. Nitrogen monoxide mother should be judged like this." Instantly, another fired back. "Respect? She lied to millions. That's not respect. That's fraud." The replies piled up hundreds deep, filled with venom, tears, and shock. TikTok was worse. Endless edits of Crystal's leaked video played on loop with dramatic music. Her whisper about reports replayed until it felt like a curse etched into everyone's minds. Some creators defended her, narrating tearful rants about the pressures of motherhood. Others mocked her, editing clown emojis onto her face, calling her the liar of 2:47 a.m. One viral TikTok had over 20 million views in a single night, captioned, "Trust no one, not even your idol." And then came the YouTubers, the drama kings and queens of the internet, who uploaded breakdowns longer than movies. Thumbnails screamed in red letters, "Crystal finished. Jackson was right all along." The dark side of baby Junior's story. Each video racked up millions of views within hours, fueling the inferno of speculation. But this wasn't just fans. The mainstream media smelled blood. News outlets plastered her face across headlines, some with pity, others with ruthless condemnation. Crystal Rios betrays fans. The truth about Junior leaked video sparks outrage. Morning shows replayed the footage with analysts debating whether she was guilty of deception or simply broken by pressure. Even celebrities couldn't resist jumping in. A famous pop singer tweeted, "This isn't drama. This is bullying. Leaking a mother's pain is disgusting." Meanwhile, a reality star went on Instagram Live, laughing as she said, "Honey, if you didn't want secrets out, maybe don't whisper them at 2:47 in the morning." Next, the divide spread like wildfire. Hollywood itself was taking sides. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered about chaos in the industry. Sponsors weren't just pausing deals, they were cutting ties completely. A leaked memo from one brand read, "Effective immediately. All promotional campaigns with Ms. Rios are terminated." Risk outweighs value. The news sent shockwaves through the business world. Her tour was now in jeopardy. Rumors swirled that venues were quietly reconsidering contracts. And all the while, Jackson sat back, smirking, fueling the fire with cryptic tweets. Silence speaks louder than lies. 2:47 a.m. isn't random, it's calculated. Every word he dropped became a trending topic. Every smirk a meme, every pause a prophecy. Fans grew even more divided. Discord servers turned into digital war zones. Reddit threads stretched thousands of comments long. Some were convinced Jackson was a villain exploiting Crystal's pain. Others swore he was a hero, finally exposing the truth. One Reddit post that went viral summed it up. "This isn't just about Crystal. This is about trust. If she lied, what does that mean for every influencer, every celebrity, every idol we believe in?" The scandal had evolved beyond one woman, one child, one betrayal. It had become a mirror, forcing millions to question everything they thought they knew about fame, loyalty, and truth itself. And then Crystal herself broke the silence again. Not in a live stream this time, not in a tweet, but in a simple, haunting Instagram story. Black background, white letters, 7 words. "The enemy was always inside my house." The internet lost its mind. Was she blaming her manager? Her assistant? Someone closer? Was this her way of confirming that the leaks weren't just betrayals, they were orchestrated from within? The speculation grew darker. Fans wondered if her inner circle had been recording her for months, selling her secrets like currency. Some said the 2:47 a.m. timestamp. Who betrayed Crystal Rios? And why? And just when the world thought it had seen the worst, the ground cracked open and revealed something even darker. Crystal Rios's cryptic message, "The enemy was always inside my house," wasn't just a dramatic line. It was a warning. Within hours, anonymous accounts began leaking files. And what they contained flipped the entire scandal upside down. The first drop was an audio file. A muffled voice, clearly someone close to Crystal, could be heard laughing. "She thinks I'm protecting her. She doesn't realize I'm the one feeding everything to Jackson." The internet exploded. Fans replayed the recording on loop, slowing it down, enhancing it, desperate to identify the voice. Some swore it was her manager. Others insisted it was her assistant. A few dared to whisper the unthinkable, that it might even be family. Then came the photos. Grainy shots of late-night meetings, text threads suggesting negotiations. Emails allegedly showing payments exchanged for exclusive info. The narrative shifted again. Crystal wasn't just careless. She was surrounded by wolves. And the most heartbreaking part, those wolves were the people she trusted most. Her silence grew heavier. Every hour she didn't speak, the theories grew darker. Was she terrified? Was she planning her revenge? Was she secretly gathering her own proof to burn the betrayer alive in the court of public opinion? And then, just when everyone thought she might fade away, Crystal returned with a video message. No music, no filters, no glamour, just her face pale and exhausted, her voice trembling with fury. "I know who sold me out. I know who recorded me. And when I say their name, you'll understand that this was never about me. This was about power. This was about destruction. And it came from the person you least expect." She ended the video without naming names. No details. Just that chilling promise that the internet fell into chaos. Hashtags erupted instantly. Hashtag who is the traitor? Hashtag inside enemy. Hash name drop 22.5. Every corner of social media lit up with speculation. Fans begged her to reveal it. Haters mocked her for dragging it out. Jackson smirked in silence, fanning the flames with a single tweet. "Told you it was bigger than you think." And that's where everything stopped. Silence. No more leaks. No more live streams. Just a world on edge. Waiting for Crystal to drop the final bomb, because now the scandal wasn't just about Junior's condition. It wasn't just about Crystal versus Jackson. It wasn't even about betrayal anymore. It was about the ultimate question.